So I have a confession to make with you. I'm one of those guys who'll be standing in the queue at the checkout in the grocery store, and I'll start looking at all the other queues to see which is the quickest and shortest to get through. And before I know it, I'm chopping and changing, and then I notice the people who were behind me in the original queue I was in are leaving before me, and that does kind of really impact on how I feel. But I thought I would share with you some ideas around impatience. So often, we can be told you mustn't be impatient, you must always be patient. But patient, whilst it is good, it can also have its downsides too. We could be patient in a relationship that is not serving us. Equally as much, we could be impatient in a relationship that is serving us. So the question is, which serves us more, patience or impatience? And I think that's up to each individual. But I want to focus more on impatience. How can we work with it? So let's first understand, why do we feel impatient? It has its roots in our evolutionary process. Our ancestors, when they were hunters and gatherers, were out there in the plains looking for their food source. And if it took them longer than expected to get to their food source, then this emotional response called impatience was a signal to change their mental processes as well as their physical processes so that they could get to their food more efficiently and effectively. So let's fast forward into the modern day world. We still have this impatience, the signal within us. And what is it telling us? Well, we have a goal. There's a goal that we want to achieve, and there's an expectation in terms of a cost to achieve that goal. That cost could be anything we place value on: time, energy, money, whatever. And if that cost is greater than what we expected, then the impatience reels within us to tell us, hey, we've got to either speed up the process, look at other options, but we want to get to that goal quicker. But this is where we've got to slow down a bit. Because if we react on that impatience, we might speed things up and it might cost us in the long run. For example, you're in the traffic, there's a slow driver in front of you, and you haven't got any other options except to overtake. And there's a lot of traffic. So you start hooting, you start maybe giving some gestures, or you try and take a risky, do a risky overtake of the car, or take over the car in a risky manner. And that could cost you. That could cost you more than you expect. So that is where one has to sit and do some breathing and not react. Also, you might have upset the driver in front of you if you are showing them signals, and they'll just drive slower. So you'll find that that reaction to that impatience means the cost just becomes greater. So it is about identifying, first of all, my emotion. This is impatience. I am going to get reactive. Let's do some breathing so it opens the mind. And then let's look at options. Now, if we do have options and we feel we can work with those options, then we'd start going into the problem-solving process and we change our strategies and goals. But I think that's really where it does work for us, is when we stop reacting on the impatience. Let it be a signal to tell us that there's something that is not going according to plan, and what can we do with it? And sometimes we might just have to accept that that's the cost and stick with it. For me, I had that experience with the online course that I've been developing, this online managing your state of well-being. And I was getting impatient while I was developing the course because it was taking longer than I expected. And I could have spent less time on other projects that might have yielded more results. But I felt, this project was a more important project for me. It's a really big one. So I stuck with the plan and I let go of the urge to want to either speed up the process or go and do something else that may not have yielded the impact that this will have on the people that will work with the course. So these are some thoughts, folks, and until we chat again, take care and stay aware.